Namaste and welcome to Wisdom with Grace Yoga. My name is Sophie, and on this channel I am the Manifestation Yogini. Today I have a yoga flow that is intended to gently release the mind from the belief that wrong action leads to unfavorable consequence. This idea can become toxic. It sometimes shows up in spiritual philosophies, but it often stems from early conditioning, learning that you must be flawless in order to be safe. That belief doesn't have to live in your mind or shape your reality anymore. In yogic philosophy, we have the ethical practices known as the yamas and yamas. Rather than strict rules or religious doctrine we must follow perfectly, or else they're better understood as guiding concepts. They invite us to investigate ourselves with curiosity and compassion, not judgment. Growth comes from showing up imperfectly, from letting things be done, not perfect, from trusting that your worth is not earned through performance. In yogic texts, practice is described as something we return to again and again, not something we ever get right. Yoga teaches that imperfect action is better than no action at all. So let this practice be your permission to be a little messy. Nothing here is being graded. Mistakes go unpunished, where your body learns that it is safe to try. When you're ready, gather any props you might like, put on music that feels supportive to you, and let's begin. So we'll begin practice reclined on your back. In constructive rest. So bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Bring them about as wide as the mat is, and the knees come together. You can place your hands on top of your rib cage if that's comfortable, or by your sides, palms open for receiving. I like to walk my shoulder blades underneath me to find a little bit more support through the back. You can also tuck the chin and lengthen the back of the head. And taking a moment here to connect to your breath. To the space around you. What do you notice? What do you feel? And then on the next inhalation, begin to deepen the breath, feeling the belly rise. Exhale, completely empty. See if you are able to lengthen the exhale a little bit longer than the inhalation. Breathing in and out through the nose. And one more big breath. And continue to breathe normally in and out through the nose. Walking the feet together, extending the left leg out long, and Bringing the sole of the right foot to the inner thigh, let that right knee just fall out to the side. So we're in a bit of a tree pose, lying on our back. And then bring the sole of the foot back to the earth. Keep that left leg extended. And now flex the toes towards your face and draw the right knee into the chest. You can grab the knee with the left hand and draw it over to the left, extending the right arm into this reclined twist. Gazing over the right hand. And drawing the right knee back to center. Bend the left knee, so bring the left sole of the foot to the earth and cross the right ankle over the left knee, pressing the right shin away, and then drawing both legs into the chest. If it's available to you to clasp the hamstring, then go ahead and do that, but it's not necessary if you're finding you have to really force it. So we're not forcing anything in practice today. Force always breaks more than it fixes. And releasing the left sole of the foot to the ground. Extend that right leg long now. We'll walk the left sole of the foot to the inner thigh and then drop the left knee down into this reclined, relaxed tree pose. And draw that left knee up and draw it into the chest, clasping with the right hand and over to the right, twisting open, gazes towards the left, taking a few breaths here. And then returning back to center, walk the right foot to the mat and crossing the left ankle over the right knee, drawing both legs into the chest, flexing through that right foot, and finding your reclined pigeon pose. And release both feet to the mat. We'll lift up into one bridge pose. So bring the soles of the feet to the mat. May walk them a little closer so your fingertips can just gently graze the heels. And feeling the upper arms root down into the earth, lifting the hips up towards the ceiling. Imagine there is something between your thighs that you're squeezing together. But we're not squeezing the thighs to touch. Just imagine there's a ball or something there that we're gripping. Lift the heels up off the earth and slowly roll each vertebrae back down. Draw the knees into the chest. Give them a nice squeeze. And then bringing the hands behind the hamstrings, you can bend and straighten the legs here for momentum. We'll rock and roll up to a seat. You can do this a few times in your poor man's massage. Avoid rocking back onto your head though. And then we'll pause and hold in our Ardha Navasana bow pose. Bringing the thighs together, press through the balls of the feet. Flex your toes towards your face, spread them nice and wide. You can stay right here or straighten through the legs. Stay right here or reach the fingertips forward. And then cross at the ankles, come to a seat. right foot is in front of left, or you can place the right shin on top of the left shin. Inhale, sweep the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, side bend over to the right. Inhale, returning back to center. Bring the hands at shoulder height and twisting to the right. Release the left hand to the left knee, right fingertips back behind you, and maybe find a little gentle assist with the left hand to twist open a little deeper, lengthening through the base of the spine, gaze over the shoulder. Inhale, returning back to center. Exhale, side bend over to the left side. So the right arm is really reaching. So we're finding a bit of a stretch. You might feel this a little bit through the armpit or the right shoulder. So not just a limp arm. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, hands at shoulder height, twisting to the left. Release the right hand to left knee, fingertips towards the hips, and maybe deepen the twist a little bit more with that assist. Returning back to center, bring the hands behind you, fingertips towards you, soles of the feet wide on the mat. And maybe walk them a little bit farther than the knees. And as we lift the hips, we'll draw the knees close to the heels and then lift the hips up off the earth. So we can get a little bit more into our shoulders. If it feels okay in your neck to drop your head back and go right ahead. As we come back to the earth, swinging the hips back towards the hands. And now the left foot comes in front or on top. Inhale, reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling, side bend over to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twisting to the right once again. Maybe you can find the right hand onto the left hip. Make the gaze part of the twist. Inhale. Exhale, returning back to center and side bend over to the left. Inhale, back to center and twisting to the left. And returning back to center. So you can either bring the soles of the feet back to the mat once again, or if you want to play here with a reverse plank, legs are straight, toes are pointed, thighs are together, and lifting the hips from here. And then dropping the hips back down, crossing at the ankles, roll on forward. And toes to touch, sit the hips back into a child's pose. And for your intention today, an affirmation: I am safe even if I'm imperfect. I am safe even if I am imperfect. Reach your palms a little farther forward, spread through the fingers. This is an interesting class. Press through all 10 knuckles of the hands. Grip the mat with your fingertips. And come on forward. Tuck your toes under. Unfold into a down dog. Lift up high onto the balls of the feet and drop one heel and then the other. pedaling out the feet. Maybe swaying the hips side to side, saying yes and no with the neck, anything that feels needed in the body. Or you can just find stillness here in your down dog. When you're ready, small steps forward to the front of the mat. Find yourself in a ragdoll. Keep a generous bend through the knees as the torso drapes over the thighs. Maybe grabbing for opposite elbow and swaying side to side. And release the hands, press through the feet, and slowly rolling up one vertebrae at a time. When you arrive, maybe just a gentle arch back, placing the weight in your heels, and then coming right back through to Tadasana Mountain Pose. Lift and spread your toes, feeling the arches lift up off the ground. See if you can maintain that lift of arch as you lower the toes back down to the earth. Soft knees, soft, gentle gaze. An invitation here to close your eyes, to feel the gentle movements, subtle movements of the body. The subtle movements of breath and body. And what happens here to those movements when you just gently press through the big toe? And what happens to those movements when you make tight fists with the hands, keeping the big toe pressed into the earth? And now imagine with your feet hips distance, keep the tight fists, keep the toes into the earth. Start to draw the legs, the feet in towards each other. So not actually moving them, just energetically moving the feet in that direction. You might start to feel your legs. Notice here where the movements are. Take a breath in. Take another sip of air in. And exhale, just let it all go. Inhale, circle, sweep the arms up towards the ceiling. Maybe gaze towards the fingertips. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, hands to shins, elongate through the spine. They can also be on the thighs, anywhere along the legs. And big step back with the right foot. Coming into our low lunge. So the left knee over the left ankle. Reach fingertips back behind you. Inhale, rising on up to your crescent lunge. Gentle lift of back inner thigh, reaching palms overhead. Lengthen the ears away from the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, sweep the hands back behind you, palms facing down. Torso just hovers over the front thigh. Building some heat here through the body. Ujjayi breath if that's in your practice. Inhale and exhale right back through to a 5-pointed star. Hands to hips, elbows squeezed towards behind the back, and just fold forward here into your wide-legged forward fold. Outer edges of the feet are parallel, toes are slightly turned in. Walk your hands over to the right foot, stepping the right foot back to meet the left. Just come right through to a down dog. From your down dog, lift up high onto the balls of the feet and shift forward into a plank. Shift forward more onto the toes. Option to drop your knees here. Elbows hug towards the back wall. As you lower slowly, keep your head lifted. Heart and hips land perhaps at the same time, maybe not. Tops of the feet press into the mat. Hands drag towards the feet. As you inhale, rising up to your Bhujangasana Cobra. Exhale, pressing up and back into down dog. Bring the toes to touch. Inhale, reach the right foot, three-legged dog. Keep the left heel down to the floor. Bend through the knee, keep the hips lifted, and swing that right foot to the hands if you can. Get there however you can, and place the left knee down to the earth. If you need a blanket underneath that knee, go right ahead and get it. And we'll come up to our low Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. Drawing the hips slightly forward. We'll reach the fingertips forward, thumbs facing up. Inhale, exhale, twisting to the right. Bringing the hands back to center and reaching them up towards the ceiling. Bring the right hand to the right hip and side bend over to the right. Release both hands to the inside of the right foot. Heel toe that foot out so it's about as wide as the mat. Toes are slightly out, heel is in. Tuck the back toe under and step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. And try your best to keep the heels to the floor as we lower down into Malasana. If they don't reach, you can always tuck a blanket or roll up a mat underneath your heels. Tailbone down, heart lifts. Release the hands, tuck the chin under, lift the hips, and heel toe the feet in. Bring the toes to touch, the heels just slightly apart, and sit the hips down. Palms facing forward, right into your Utkatasana chair pose. Press through the feet. Inhale, rise up, maybe a gentle arch back, and hands through to heart center, and by your side to Tadasana Mountain. Take a breath here. Inhale, circle sweep the arms. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left foot, big step back. Reach the fingertips back behind you as you rise on up to your crescent lunge. Once you find your balance with the legs, then start to bring the arms overhead. Lifting from the rib cage. Exhale, sweep the arms back behind you, leaning over the front leg. And right back through to a 5-pointed star. From your 5-pointed star, turn the left toes out. Bend deeply through the left knee into our warrior 2. Flip the left palm up, reach it slightly forward, up and back, reverse. And extended side angle. Left elbow just gently grazes left thigh as the right hand reaches overhead. Ground through the back foot. Inhale, rising on back up to warrior two. Turn the left toes in, the right toes out. Warrior two onto the other side. Flip the right palm up and just moving with your torso, reach it forward and up and back. Keep a nice deep bend through the right knee. The right thigh is what we say is parallel to the floor, but our bodies don't always fit into these instructions, and they don't have to. Exhale, release the right elbow to right thigh and left arm overhead. Ground through the back foot, turn all 10 toes forward once again and into your Y-legged forward fold. Walk yourself to the left foot and do the most perfectly imperfect vinyasa of the class. Lowering down, arching up. Cobra or up dog. Exhale, pressing on back into down dog. From down dog, big toes to touch. Inhale, left foot, three-legged dog. Try your best to keep that right heel down. And then swing the left leg forward. As you swing forward, you can lift up high onto the ball of the foot for a little bit more space. And stepping the left foot through to the front of the mat. Softly release the right knee down. And inhale, rise on up to your low crescent, reaching the fingertips forward. Inhale. Exhale, twisting to the left. Inhale, back to center. And releasing the left hand to left hip, side bend over to the left. And then returning back to center. Bring the hands to the inside of the left foot. And we'll come into another Malasana squat. From your Malasana squat, bring your hands down, tuck the chin under, and lift the hips. Heel toe the feet in. And with a flat back inhale, rising on up to standing. Hands through heart center. And right through to Tadasana mountain pose. And we'll just play with a tree pose here, bringing the left foot slightly center. Lifting the right knee about hip height. Maybe you find the sole of the foot to the inside of the ankle joint or anywhere along the leg. Bringing the sole of the foot to the inner thigh, wherever you find it. If you've been practicing a long time, maybe tap that knee a little bit. And grow your branches. Allow for any wobbles or wiggles. If you need a wall, there's no shame in that. And release the right foot down. Another side. So the sole of the foot can come anywhere on the leg. You can just play practicing your balance here, just lifting the knee to start. Or you can grab the ankle and bring it high up onto the inner thigh. And release out of this. Bring your feet wide once again. Heels in, toes out. And sit right down into another Malasana squat. And from here, we'll just come into a seat, crossing the left shin in front. Draw the right foot back behind you and twisting to the left, reaching the right hand back behind you. And then come on forward. And that right shin is as parallel to the front of the mat as possible. And we'll lean forward into this modified pigeon pose. If a full pigeon isn't in your practice, or reclined pigeon isn't in your practice, and you want to straighten that right leg back behind you, come onto the ball. Tuck the toes under. And if you're here, one thing you can do is just peek over the left shoulder just to get those hips in a nice neutral position into your pigeon. And to get out of this, we'll just rock on over to the left hip and swing that right foot forward. And we'll just switch legs. Draw the right shin parallel to the front of the mat and just swing that left leg back behind you. And just start with a twist, twisting over to the right, reaching that left hand back behind you. So normally in yoga, we always start on the right side. I'm allowing myself to not always start on the right side, because you know what? I don't gotta be perfect. Draw, and from here you can lean on forward into this modified pigeon. This is totally fine with the left leg bent. If it's in your body to walk that left leg back, then go for it. Another option is always that reclined pigeon on your back that we did earlier. I didn't mention that. And leading over onto the right hip. Swing that left leg forward. Reach the feet forward once again. And if you'd like to do another reverse plank. Lifting the hips up towards the ceiling. And lowering the hips back down towards the hand. Reach the fingertips forward, round through the spine, and slowly move on down. Slow. All the way to your back. And from here, we'll just finish with knees into the chest. Into a happy baby. Knees out wide and finding the outer edges of the feet. If you like to play with some movement here, go right ahead. Or just find stillness. If your hands don't reach the outer edges of the feet, you can grab peace fingers around big toes. You can also just grab for the inside of the legs or ankles. And release the bind if you have it. And just bring the knees back into the chest. Extending the legs long. Preparing for your final posture of class, Shavasana. Please stay here. I recommend 10, 15 minutes. of just time for yourself to completely let go. And in this moment, there is nothing to do. You don't need to perform. If you would like a guided meditation or a guided Shavasana, I have a playlist in the description below. Otherwise, this is where I will leave you. Feel free to set a timer, to find another video, to turn everything off. This is your time. Thank you for joining me, and namaste.